Trust. Dependency. Love. Respect. Passion. Pain. Intimacy. Pleasure. I sit here stuck inside my head, remembering you and I analyze all those things you said. You told me you loved me, you kissed and you hugged me, then you smile and look in my eyes and tell me that you'll always be right there.
Good evening, y'all, and happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I know this say February 23rd because we supposed to do this show last week, but
that's all right.
That's neither here nor there, okay? That's neither here nor there. We ain't finna worry about all of that. But can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because it looked like I'm frozen on my end. That's why I was asking.
No, yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So tonight, our conversation is going to be bomb, per usual. But before I get into all of that, I am the one, the only Leah Rochelle. And I got my aunties in here with me. My aunties up in this thing with me tonight. We got Auntie Michelle right here next to me.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
Auntie
everybody.
Michelle, what up, girl?
What up, everybody?
And then down there at the bottom, we got Auntie Ayla. She up in this thing.
What up, though?
I'm trying to get back to y'all, but my thing is spazzing out. So if I happen to pop up out of here and then pop back in here, that's why. But tonight we talking about taking up space. Okay, tonight we talking about taking up space. And when it comes to taking up space, we're going to talk about what that looks like, what that is, what that means, and all of that other good stuff. Okay?
Okay.
But before we get into that, aunties, how was y'all day? How was y'all week?
Scratching and surviving.
She back out
That's how
again.
my week was. Man.
It was scratching and surviving.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh no. My week, well, wait a minute. Now, why was it scratching and surviving? What made it so what made it a good time moment for you?
It was an intense week. Just workload was intense this week.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Well, it's month end, so that kind of makes sense. I know for me, that's how it gets around month end.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We had a lot going on at work. It was a heavy load. But yeah, I made it through. So I'm not gonna complain. How the old folks say, I'm not gonna complain. I can't complain.
You're not gonna
complain.
Don't complain, girl. You made it. You made it.
How about it?
Let's see. My week was cool. It had its moments. It had its ups and downs. Per usual, whether it was emotional or physical. But it was cool though. Nonetheless, I have no complaints. I'm blessed. So.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm loving too.
What about you? Huh? Go ahead.
I was getting ready to say, I know one thing. I had to employ a whole lot of coping mechanisms this week.
Man, let me tell you. What are some of your coping mechanisms? Because maybe I need to borrow some.
Oh no, none of them are good. So
okay.
None of them are good. No, okay. So I'll say the positive one. The positive one is I do pray, and I do try to go to my notes and write my thoughts out, like get them out. Especially when I really want to say something to somebody and I know I can't. So
trying to keep the peace.
Exactly. So I'll put everything I want to say.
Instead of being like, I'm not calling this shit
Exactly.
over.
That's right. So
hey,
it's almost like Moesha with the Dear Diary situation.
Hey, my love. Thanks for
he better have spoke to us tonight because he be coming in here only speaking to Ayla and then don't be want nobody to be on his top.
On his who?
Hey, Garrick.
On his what now?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because I be out on his top. I don't know what. But okay, but I get what you're saying.
Hey, look,
I get what you're saying.
It's after dark, and we could talk like that if we want to.
I don't need to know what you be doing, Ayla.
With the shoulder.
Literally me right there. Okay.
Yeah.
But tonight our topic, we talking about taking up space.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all.
Go back to how your week was, though, Leah.
Me?
Yeah, you ain't tell us.
Shit, my week was cool. Busy, but it was cool. Y'all know I stay on the go. That's why I'm in the car right now.
Yeah, sure. That's true.
If my ass is not in the car seat, then it's in my bed. So that's what I've been doing all week. I've been hustling, getting to the coins, because it was the first of the month today, so rent was due.
Man,
I hear you.
I ain't have to worry about it. What he say on Friday? If you ain't got your part of the rent, you ain't got to worry about catching the dog. You got to worry about a dog catching your ass.
Man,
so I was making sure I didn't have to worry about no dog catching my ass. Okay,
barely made it.
So
never would have made it. Barely.
That part.
I looked at my account like,
it was
a
good week. I've been a little tired, but overall, it's been a good week.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
So, to tap into the topic, we got a few little things. A few. First and foremost, the topic tonight is take up space, sis, and that's just not for the ladies. That's for the fellas too. It says take up space, sis, because we the aunties and wasn't no men on here tonight, so it just made sense. But the whole concept of taking up space, or the thought process of taking up space, literally means to fully be present in all that you are and all that you bring to the table. Okay. Now I can't really see my notes. I can't see my stuff because I see I'm in the car. But I'm gonna play this video by Tony Jones. She has a whole song called "Take Up Space, Sis," and it tells you what it's about, what it means, and all of that good stuff. I'm gonna have to teach one of y'all how to do this stuff when I'm out in these streets.
Right.
Hold on, let me see what I can see.
Okay.
But I know it's on here. Hold on.
Look, I was getting ready to ask the whole crazy question, like, oh, do you need a laptop to show me? But you clearly are in the car on your phone, so you don't need a laptop.
It's okay, baby. I'm trying to find the song though. Oh, here we go.
Take up space, sis. Got my room with this. Take up space, sis. I got my room with this. I'm a trip for this. They cannot resist. The space is on abyss. Take up space, sis.
I actually have
that's one of the songs on my manifestation playlist.
Okay, come on, manifestation playlist.
Yeah, I have the same one.
Yeah,
I need to go back to that playlist too.
I heard that song a while ago. I love it.
Yeah,
I be on that playlist often, at least twice or 3 times a week. I be needing it, and you don't realize how much of it you need until you start listening to it, because you consume so much throughout the day, so much negativity, so much, especially if you're on social media, all the stuff that's going on in the world. If you watch the news, I don't watch the news because I feel like it's enough already on a daily basis. So yeah, I have to. I keep my manifestation list. It's a bunch of songs that's honestly clearly that's just like that one. Then it's a bunch of songs that have like mantras in them. Some of them are mantras.
Yeah.
And then some is gospel.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little mix.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you made a good point about social media and, just coinciding with what we're talking about tonight. We need to do more about taking up space on social media so we can dictate how we want to see stuff. Because, like, my feed is totally ridiculous. I don't know where the algorithm is coming from. Even when I scroll Instagram, it's like every other one is somebody died or, some other shenanigans that I don't really want to feed into. But the more you see it, you be like, well, let me click on it just so I know what's going on when somebody say
Yeah.
something. But yeah, I think that we should, well, take the we out. Me, I should do a better job with posting stuff that will dictate my algorithm, because my algorithm is ridiculous now.
My algorithm is wild. It's not really mess. It's just wild. So like 1 minute, it's kind of like what you said, but 1 minute it would be like a bunch of I get a lot of prayers. I get a lot of
Mm-hmm.
scripture things and stuff like that. Then the next thing you know, I'll randomly get like some fights. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'll randomly get like today, I don't know how it's so weird because it's like it's not like I was watching porn, but somebody posted somebody posted like a porn thing or whatever, and it came across. I'm like,
Yeah.
where did this come from? Like at no
Right.
point did I talk about sex. At no point was anything like going on that was sexual at all. Like I literally, you know what? I think I know what it was.
You the pleasure principle.
That could be it, but I think but these phones be listening and you'll say something and then all of a sudden
Right.
I was talking about doing my vaginal steam today.
Oh
And then the
wow.
next thing I know that popped up. Now that I thought
Mm.
about it, that's what it was.
And
Cause
that's something though. My gosh,
I was
that's
like, where did that come
crazy.
from?
That's crazy. I've been getting familiar with cats because in my previous
Cat
past,
as in it
cats like a
cat.
kid, like a kitty
Oh,
cat,
okay.
cat,
Okay.
cat.
All
I
right.
was about to say, cats in what regard? What kind of cats? We talking
a
about
real,
pussy
a real
cats
pussy
or
cat, little bitty pussy
cats,
cat.
animals?
What pussy cat?
The little bitty pussy cat.
I'm
But
like, cause we a little too old to be
picking
trying to
up
get
my
familiar with the
timeline lately
cats.
just because I've been looking at those things.
Yeah.
Mm, 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 mm.
Okay.
So, what are some other ways? I know one thing. I want to start taking up space in other arenas. Like,
Right.
I take up a lot of space at work, because my position is like, it's it's everything,
Right. So
But I'm
you the
like, oh
one you the go-to person.
yeah, just about. But I mean, I want to be in other arenas, you know, just
Out-
doing other stuff.
Outside of just work.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you
Yeah.
on that. When I saw that we were talking about this, I'm a step back just a little bit. I'm actually happy that we're talking about it today because
Mm-hmm.
today is the first day of Women's History Month.
Hey
So this is
now,
actually perfect.
it
You know what I'm saying?
is.
Look at what God did. We didn't even know.
Absolutely. That's
We
right.
couldn't do
That's
it last week. We
exactly
do it
right.
this week.
I love
Um,
that.
I
but
mean, I like how you put that out there.
you
I
see
like
how
it.
it is?
You want
Mm-hmm.
it.
I thought about
Yes.
it like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we talking about like taking up space and things like that, like one of the biggest things that I've noticed when it comes to like relationships, friendships, or any kind of fucking ship
Mm-hmm.
is that a lot of times people with big personalities like myself and other people that I know one of the things that we tend to do is like we try to like dim our light a little bit because
Yes.
being in this
Yep.
space a lot of times, a lot of people aren't used to big personalities, or
Right.
they when they encounter a big personality, now it's like, oh, you too much, you too loud, you too this, you too that.
Mm-hmm.
But the space that I'm in my life, and I asked the question on Facebook, was asking women um that are 40 or 40 and over, like, what did life teach you, or what did you learn turning 40 that you did not know before 40, or what are some things that you started to do once you turned 40 that you did not do before? And a lot of them said their give a fuck got less.
Absolutely.
They stopped giving a fuck
Absolutely.
as much. And I'm getting to that point in my life where my
Yes.
give a fuck is a lot less.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not to say that I don't care, not to say that I don't, give a fuck about people, because I absolutely do. But I'm getting to this space in my life where giving a fuck about how people feel about me, what people think about me, how people receive me is a lot less than what it used to be. Because I'm a former people pleaser. And I
Yeah.
say former because I no longer, I'm not saying, I'm not no longer going to say I'm a people pleaser. I am a former people pleaser.
Mm-hmm.
And so in a lot of spaces, we do tend to try to continue people pleasing. But I said all of that to say that this quote here is really about taking up space. And it says, don't you dare trim back those wings because they're taking up all the space in the room. Let them break the roof. Okay.
Yeah.
I love
So don't
that.
be up here being all timid and shy and all of that other kind of shit. You go in that space and you take up that motherfucking room like you supposed to. And
Yeah.
I already know, like, my energy takes over a room, whether good or bad. So I really have to be mindful of my energy a lot of times. And I don't even have to actually be in a room. It's like I did not realize how much my energy takes up space.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be mindful if I got an attitude, if I'm irritated or anything like that. I try to make sure I'm mindful of how I communicate to people, because my energy definitely will enter the space before I do. So I be trying to be mindful of that. But one other video,
And that kind of energy can control the room, depending, especially if you have a lot of, like you said, it's a big personality, so it can definitely do that.
Oh baby,
Yeah.
listen, and that's one of the things. Like, sometimes that's something that you don't even know how to control. I've been this way almost 40 years, and I still don't know, like, sometimes how I'm received, because I can really be in a good mood and my energy might be a little off. But a lot of times, if my energy is off, it's because I'm in a space where I'm trying to understand what the energy is, or
Right.
I'm receiving some energy that's not like clicking with my energy. So I'm like, what I'm feeling? What is
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
So I can really, like, I read energy very well and I feel it, but it's also one of them things you got to try to decipher, and I try to decipher shit in the moment. So, and I deal with anxiety. So, there's that. So the shit might be my anxiety trying to navigate the space that I'm in, or it's literally my brain trying to navigate the space that I'm in, or it's my spirit trying to navigate the space that I'm in. So sometimes, yeah, my energy might be like, ugh.
Right. Right. Right.
But I apologize for it, but I'm not apologizing for it. It's like, oh, I didn't, like, that's like when you be looking mean and somebody say something, then you go to smiling. That's literally me.
Yeah.
I be having resting bitch face or resting bitch energy or whatever. I don't know, but I just know how that shit come off sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have resting bitch face, and
Well,
it's not
I
on
don't
purpose.
know.
In all honesty, I'm thinking, I'm in my head a lot,
Yeah.
so I'm always I'm always
That's why
thinking
people
about
tell me I
stuff,
look mean all the time.
huh?
I get told I look mean all the time.
Oh
Yep,
yeah, I
I'm
get that
same
all
for
the
me.
time. I used to get that often, like, why
okay.
don't you smile, or like, what's going on? It ain't that bad, baby girl, especially for men. That's
Yeah,
pretty much be often.
Oh,
It
don't
ain't that,
tell me it ain't that bad, cause nigga, you don't know what I'm dealing with.
and you don't even know
exactly.
if I'm dealing with anything. Like, you don't know what's
Right.
happening. But
Yep.
but 9 times out of 10, I'm thinking. And also, I'm one of those people where I'm paying attention to everything around me. So I'm observing the atmosphere and the energy. And the reason being is because I need to assess. It's kind of like you saying you're trying to assess your energy. I have to assess how I'm about to show up here. Because if
Mm-hmm.
the space isn't, if I don't feel welcomed or if I don't feel good energy, then I'm gonna stay quiet. And I'm just gonna look and I'm gonna watch and I'm gonna observe. If I
Yeah.
feel like it's good energy and I feel like I can loosen up a little bit, I will. You know what I mean? But it
Mm-hmm.
just depends on, like, it just depends on that space. And I'm not looking angry or mean because I don't want nobody to approach me. I'm just trying to find out what the hell, what kind of situation I'm in.
Yeah. 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 Well, I
So,
mean, and as you get a little bit older, um, you start to become very, very much protective of the space you go into or where you're invited. You know what I'm saying? So I know for
mhm.
sure that people will invite me and I'll be like, well, I think about it. Or now I just say, no, I don't want to go, because it's, to Leo's point, I have that anxiety as well too.
Mhm.
it's a whole river of emotions going through me just to get ready to go out somewhere.
Oh my God.
What I'm gonna put on, how's this gonna look? Do I like my shoes? Did I do my makeup? Well, then by the time you get there,
Do I even feel like being bothered to go?
exactly, and so I could talk myself out of going to any place. I really can.
Man.
I really can talk myself out of it because I'm very, very comfortable. Although I do eventually want to, meet someone in the future. Someone sent me something funny that said I have to go outside to
You
meet
gotta
someone,
you gotta go
but for
outside.
real, I really only want to be around my family, my friends. Like, I do want to meet someone, but the back of my mind be like, no new friends. We don't. I don't want to be. It's like I got a
But then,
good and a bad.
outside can give you good energy too.
True.
You
Yes,
know
it
what I
can.
mean? There's been times when I just been in the house, because a lot of we don't realize at what space or peak that depression can sit in on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be like, oh, I just don't want to be bothered, and that could be a sign of, like, it's so
Mm-hmm.
much little things that can be a sign of depression. But then you go outside, you get some air, you get the sun. Like, for me, my favorite thing to do when I'm just outside and I don't really know what to do, but I just know I need to get outside, is I ride and I listen to music.
Uh-huh.
I have a full concert in my car,
Yeah.
and find stuff to do. Some people go shopping. That's not my forte because I'm cheap.
Me
Okay.
too.
So
I
I'm
don't want
not
to
going,
go shopping.
I don't want to go shopping. And
Me
plus,
neither.
shopping gives me anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
will
just
rather shop online. Shopping gives me
see,
full
see.
blown anxiety. I don't want
Look,
to go
look.
outside. Look, I'm not trying to go outside and look at nothing. I don't want to try anything on. I don't want nobody to ask me nothing. I might feel bloated today. I don't know how I'm gonna look in this outfit. I'd rather see
Yep.
it online, order it, and then try it when I get home, send it back
Yep.
if I can't, and
Yes.
call it a day. Grocery shopping sometimes gives me anxiety. So I
It
put my
does me
headphones
too.
in when I'm
Mm-hmm.
shopping, so then I don't have to deal uh I don't have to deal with it. You know what I mean? So let's see. Hold on, I see stuff popping up. People be jealous of my energy. How did you grow out of it? If you steam it, won't it lose flavor? No, it intensifies the flavor, my love. I will not lose flavor. That's gonna make the flavor better. How did you grow in? How did you grow in? Grow out, grow in. I don't know the question you're trying to ask, Ma. How did you grow out or in of what? Grow. I don't know what she's asking. People be jealous of my energy, so I be finding myself staying quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is it's not my energy that makes me stay quiet around certain people. It's that some people's energy or their negativity is too much.
Yeah.
So I tend to just be like, now there has been moments where I'm just like, I'll say something like, hey, I can't deal with this. This is this, whatever this is too much. It's too negative. It's too bad. I can't.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, I try my best to greet everything with
Yeah.
positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't, I'm gonna cuss you out.
Right. I mean, and that's a really good way to be, right? Because especially like we start like we said in the outset, we already have the anxiety to go out, right? But then when you get there, for me, when I get there and I observe the room, I observe faces, I observe body language, and everything else. And if somebody is off, okay, so I'm watching that for a second, but I'm still not giving it any light at first. I'm going to keep vibing with the people that know me or have good energy. But
Mm-hmm.
after a while, if it starts to become overwhelming to me and like my anxiety goes on super high level, the people around me know I'm ready to go. I have certain body movements, I have certain facial looks that say, "Okay, we out of here now. Like we came, we saw, we conquered, and let's be out to go
My
somewhere
my
else."
quote is my quote is I came, I saw, I got anxiety, I left. That's my
Yeah.
quote. I got a hoodie
Yes,
that says that. I came, I saw, I got anxiety, I left.
I love that. I would love to have that hoodie too.
Because one thing that people have learned lately is like I will show up for my people. I will come out, I will be present, I will show up for you because you invited me. I will be there in the place to be with a smile on my face, cutest,
Mhm.
cutest all get out. But the
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
minute my energy be like, whew, if it my people meter start going to empty, oh baby, I'm listening to
Mm-hmm.
me and I'm riding out and I'm gonna tell the person that the people that I came with, I'm ready when you are. And it's so
Mhm.
funny because a lot of people know me enough to know that when I say I'm ready whenever you ready,
That mean I'm ready now.
they know that that means I was ready 10 minutes ago, but I'm going to
Yeah.
just stay here because we came together and I don't want to ruin your fun. So if you
Right.
having fun, continue having fun. But just know, whenever you done having fun, you ain't even got to ask if I'm ready because the answer
Because
is
I'm
yes.
ready.
Yes,
The
indeed.
answer is
Indeed.
yes. The answer is yes.
Answer was just
Exactly.
before you said anything.
The answer is yes. You ain't even got to
Yeah.
ask.
I mean, even when we
Um,
was at the Afros and audio, when we had that at that little mixer, I was okay for a second, and then one more second I wasn't, because Sandra was like, "What is the matter with you?" I was like, "I don't know." I couldn't put my finger on it, but something was irritating me so bad that um we all got up and left at one point. We was like, "Let's just go. Let's just go somewhere else." Because you could see it. You could see it. My
Yeah.
energy shifted.
Sometimes it's just a shift in the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just that
what you
I
say,
was
Michelle?
I was saying at that when we were at the Afros and audio mixer thing, I was good until I
Uh-huh.
wasn't,
Yeah.
and I think we all felt that, and we was ready to go.
Everybody said, "Well, let's go ahead and take these pictures, and
Yes.
we gonna go ahead and get up out of here."
Yep.
yeah, sometimes
Cassie funny as hell.
sometimes
She said, "I don't know
it be
why
one of
I'm
those
ready
things where
whenever
you
you
just
ready." Sound like
always
going to eat
have
some
to
chicken.
watch your environment
Mm-hmm.
and pay attention to what's around you because it was low key drain you. I was just talking to my sister about that today. And she was like, I just don't know my energy, just my energy. And I'm like, yo, she's like, no, my energy good. It's just like, I'm just off. Sometimes you just have those days where your body is just imbalanced. The whatever is going on in your body is just not lining up with how you want to feel. You know what I mean? You don't have that. You don't have that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just the $72 on drinks. All right, y'all spent $72 on drinks.
And I mean, we weren't drinking. It wasn't like we was drinking heavy.
Yeah, but shoot, $72, and if you only had 3
drinks.
drinks, I would be irritated.
No, I think it was 1 drink I had. Maybe, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I didn't have 2. But yeah, it came up to $72.
You did have 2.
I had 2.
Yeah, somebody had. You ended up drinking 2 because the other one, somebody didn't drink or somebody didn't want or something. You ended up drinking 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember that. And that could have been when my energy shifted. Now that I'm recalling that.
I just said the chemicals in the body. When you impaired, or not even impaired, because you might not, because I don't think that you was impaired. But just having a substance in your body can sometimes change the shift. That's why they give you all that stuff on them pills and stuff, all them dang on side effects. Yeah. It will change your whole mood, how you breathe.
I became super aware after the second drink too. I became super aware of everything, and then that's when I think that might have been when I was ready to go.
One of those, who's she looking at? Why she keep looking over here?
That's why I'm glad I don't be drinking like that no more, because baby, they used to be me. The fuck? You looking at?
Yes.
Hyper aware. I don't know why liquor does that. I don't know why it makes you.
I'm like that anyway, but on liquor, I'm irritated, and now it's like, the fuck you looking at? Why you keep looking over here? Like, So as we can see, we already know how we be in different spaces, or how we feel, or how we show up, how our bodies respond in those spaces. So that's good to know that. Energy.
Oh, I was like, oh my God,
other people sometimes.
I thought my internet stopped. I was like, my internet.
So bad. But I got a video that I want us to take a look at real quick.
Okay.
And then we're gonna come back to the conversation. So hold on. I gotta make sure it's the right one, because y'all know I'm still in the car and I can't see it.
You're doing fantastic, though.
Why, thank you. I think I do. I will be in the house in about 5 minutes. So let's see. Here we go.
So let me give y'all some gems. I'm better than this moment. It will pass. I love myself at and in every evolution, both beneficial and non-beneficial, good, bad, or indifferent. I honor myself for operating in the fullness that I could at that time and at that space. I'm proud of myself for the bravery to grow. I'm proud of myself for finding tools and figuring this shit out. I will give myself grace to figure it out. Grace to stumble. Grace to pause. I highlight and I cancel. This is my favorite. I highlight and I cancel all contracts and agreements that don't serve me for my highest good. And I give myself permission to evolve as often as I need to, in any way that I need to, without explanation.
Man, the last part I loved.
Yeah, the last part was everything.
Yeah. Totally needed.
I love that so much, because a lot of times when we are in the space of growth and learning and understanding who we are or who we are becoming, a lot of us don't give ourselves the room to even understand that it is a journey, that it is a process, that it is part of becoming a better version of ourselves. And I won't even say a better version. We're becoming the next version of
Yes,
ourselves,
yes.
because the next version doesn't necessarily mean it's a better version, or the last version of you was a bad version. It just means this version of you has a better understanding, has a better has a different mindset, has a different
Yes.
way of being, a different
Yes.
way of operating. And so it does not mean that I was a bad person before. It just means I learn and understand a few things more than I did before. So now I can operate differently. Now I can love differently. Now I can move differently. Now I can respond differently, because
Right.
I probably was responding to you based on previous hurt or other
Yeah.
situations, or not
Yeah.
having a full understanding of the situation. That's why I responded in that way. Or not having clarity, because a lot of people think that your responses are based on you being angry. No, a lot of times our responses are based on the lack of clarity given, or the lack of clarity received.
Right.
Because sometimes, even when we're asking for clarity, we're still not given that clarity. And so you're still responding because you're confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or showing up knowing not to show up as the person you once were, or the thought part, or like deep into that thought process of the person that you once were. I don't show up the same way I used to about certain things that I used to before, because
Yeah.
it didn't serve me. When I showed up in a certain space, or a certain way, it never served me. If I showed up in this situation where I, like you said, we didn't have clarity or understanding, and then I had a full-blown attitude because I had no clarity and understanding, now instead of me sitting in not having the clarity and understanding, now I'm asking questions. I'm
Yeah.
seeking to understand, so then I can actively respond or deal with something in a better space than what I did before. Because before, the initial reaction was, well, who the fuck, blah, 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 blah. Now it's changed to, well, wait a minute, help me understand why you think this way, or you feel this way, or you say
Yeah.
this. And it's about not just giving yourself grace, but giving other people grace. I think we talked about this before, as far as, you don't know what people are going through. You don't know why
Right.
a person is being the way that they are, or acting the way that they are, or whatever the case may be. But and depending on the person, like that, if you're involved with them in any kind of way, whether it be a situationship, relationship, friendship, whatever the case may be, and you give them grace, and you know this person enough, you're like, this isn't who you are. What is going on?
Right. Yes.
Instead of
Yeah.
being reactive to them coming out of bat, but you like, something is going on, because this isn't the person that I'm normally dealing with. Now, if they're constantly being that way, now you know how to adjust and remove yourself from the situation. But
Right.
oftentimes, I think in other spaces, we would react it. Well, at least I know in other spaces, I would react in a way where now I'm trying to fix something, or create something, or now I got an attitude. So you got an attitude, I got an attitude too.
Yes,
I was like,
exactly.
nah, honey, what's going
Yeah.
on? What's this
Yeah.
attitude about? Because I know I ain't did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't think I did. so
Yeah.
break that down for me. Let me know what's going on. And I think showing up in those spaces and being a better, not necessarily, like we said, we're not a better version, but a different version, a more aware version, a more in
Yeah.
tune version, and self-aware version of yourself, it makes a hell of a difference. I find myself often lately, especially like within this last year, having all of these little epiphanies about me and how I show up in situations, how I show up with people, how I show up for myself. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is why I've been in this space, or in this situation, or in this mindset. You know what I'm saying? Just paying more attention to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's very important. The more you become self-aware, that's when you're able to know what your boundaries are, but then also be able to extend grace to yourself and then grace to other people as well. And and it does take some growing. It takes some growth and all of that, because Just like you said, my
Absolutely.
dominant personality was, you know, anger. I would respond in anger, or like you said, I would be retaliatory. When you said, "Oh, if you're angry, I'm angry too." You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So now it's more like, well, let's see what's going on. Let's ask questions, right? Like you said, figure out why. Why are they coming in with that type of energy? But then that's all about taking up space too, because ultimately, if I sit into my previous personality, that's taking up space, but it's taking up negative energy, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so yeah, you gotta allow yourself to grow, like that video said.
Mm-hmm.
Allow yourself to evolve, to be that next refined version. You know,
And
yeah,
the
I think
version
that's a
that's
good thing.
comfortable for you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. That yes, the version that's comfortable for you. Yeah, because you can get in, like you said, in any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship or whatever. But like you said, if you're not being your authentic self, your authentic self will show through.
Yeah,
It's going
absolutely.
to show through.
It will rear its head because you're
Yep.
trying to show up in this version that you feel like this person wants, or the version that this person tells you they want.
Yep.
I think that's why a lot of relationships don't last. Like outside of the infidelity and all that other stuff that we talk about, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
the main reason why a lot of relationships don't last, because people aren't showing up as their authentic self. Then their
Yes.
authentic self seeps in
Yes.
later. And
Yes.
now
It
it's
do.
like,
It do.
wait a minute, hold on, who are you?
Yep. Yep.
Especially if
Yep.
one is showing up authentic and the other one isn't.
Yes.
Well, you both
Well,
ain't.
the crazy part of it is that some people will get in their mind how they imagine this relationship is going to go,
Yeah, that too.
right? And so they hold on to what they have imagined in their mind.
The
And
vision they
now that
created.
now that they were trying to fight for that so hard, and the authentic self comes out,
Mm-hmm.
between you and whoever that person, that ship, friendship, relationship, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
By that time, we're like you said, who are you? Who are
Who that
you?
is?
Who the fuck?
Yeah.
Now you over here like Risa Tisa.
Yes. Right.
Not Risa Tisa.
Man.
And one of the things that you were saying before I hop back on, Michelle, was that I heard you say something about not just taking up space, but taking up negative space too.
Yep.
And a lot of times we do that unknowingly.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And some of us walk into that space knowing that our shit stink, knowing
Hmm.
that
You
our
should have
attitude
stayed your
is
ass
bad,
home.
Yep.
knowing that, like, huh,
Yep.
and
All of
somebody
that.
say something.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just thinking when we were talking and you made that statement about the negativity. I remember when like stuff would happen to me. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna use me. I'm gonna use other people as an example because I don't think I've done this, but somebody could correct me and tell me I wasn't. I did. But I remember when people would be mad, right, because somebody passed away. And instead of
Mm.
them dealing with that grief, now they want to go outside, they want to get drunk, they want to fight, they want to
Mhm.
they want to do
Mhm.
all of this other stuff to
Yep.
relieve that anger and that frustration or that sadness, instead of deal with that and be like, I lost this person, I love this person.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that a lot. We like, my cousin just died, anybody want it? And I'm like,
So let me say
Yes.
this.
what is
When it
happening?
comes to grief, we can easily say, well, why don't you just go deal with that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But in the midst of grief, one thing is that we don't necessarily know that it's grief. A lot of people don't know what grief looks like.
Oh
A lot
yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
people are just, one of the biggest things that I feel like people as a whole do, we do not know how to exactly express what that emotion or feeling is that we're feeling.
Mhm.
Somebody might be like, I'm mad or I'm angry, when that's not even the
That's not the
emotion.
one.
But that's the emotion that
it's sadness.
that they connect to
yeah, that's the only way they can. That's the only way they can describe it at that time.
They just know it's a negative feeling.
Yeah, they just know it's negative. They don't necessarily know exactly what that feeling is.
That's it.
Because it could be I'm disappointed. I'm upset. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm hurting. But they don't necessarily know how to say that. So one of the things why a lot of people turn to substances is because it becomes a numbing. It's a numbing.
It's a numbing and coping mechanism.
And I can say that because that was me. Alcohol was my numbing juice. Like, numb me the fuck up. Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people use sex. Use sex. And when they are grieving or sad or in those different spaces where they do not know how to deal with the grief, because sex becomes, I just want to feel, or I just want to do something that makes me feel good, even if it's only for a moment. And so sometimes it becomes sex is your thing, sex or alcohol or weed or all of these. Sometimes it's food. And some people are like, damn, why I be eating so much? Because you sad. Because you grieve, and you just don't know that it's grief, because grief has so many different ways.
It looks a lot of different ways.
And sometimes we don't know exactly what it is that we're grieving, because sometimes it might not be somebody that passed away. It might be a broken heart. It might be a bad friendship. It might be a friendship that you ended up having to end and you really didn't want to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I definitely experienced that.
Yeah, friendship griefs happen as well. Friendship griefs, grief of a loved one,
grief of a loss of a job,
of a relationship, of a job, all those kind of things. And a lot of people don't even know it's grief. A lot of people don't even know how to say, yeah, I'm grieving. Because the one thing that a lot of people will combat, yeah, I'm grieving with, is, the hell you mean?
They'll combat it with
what
the hell
you mean? What you mean you grieving? You know what I'm saying? Because people always will hit it with a negative.
Yeah.
What you mean you grieving? What you mean you don't, and it's like, hey.
And then there's no time limit on grief. You know what I mean? There's no time limit on that at all. I'm still grieving. I lost my dad 3 years ago. I'm still grieving. I just lost my granny a few months ago. I'm still grieving. And the way that I grieve isn't like everybody else's. I'm not, angry and mad or doing things like that. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing the thing that I'm doing. I think the thing I know that I'm doing is I'm suppressing it. And I know that's something that I have to learn not to do. It's like when I feel it, is to feel it. But instead, when I feel it, I just say something to my granny or I say something to my dad. Like I just have like a little moment and then I move past it. And then I keep going. I just keep going. But I know at some space it's going to hit me. Like even with my dad, it hit me. With my granny, it hit me. And it's going to hit me again. And then that's the time when I'm going to probably be emotional. I'm going to cry. I'm going to deal with it in my space. And then after I have that moment, I'm going to keep on going.
So this is the issue with that. You are trying to control how the emotions come in and how they go out.
Oh, yeah, always.
Right, and that's the problem.
Yeah, I know that.
That's the problem. You trying to control it. You trying to be in control of something that you literally have no control over. Right. And so one of the biggest things is that you're going to continue to suppress it. And what you're going to end up doing, and I'm not saying this is going to be you. Some people have, including myself, the grief is going to boil the fuck over. Yeah. That's how I ended up having. So I used to smoke weed. That's how I ended up having a marijuana-induced mental breakdown in 2018. I lost my mama in 2015. And so I started drinking like a motherfucker, smoking weed, all that other kind of stuff. And when I did, I wasn't dealing with my grief because it was like, shit, I had a whole bunch of other shit going on. I had lost my job right after I lost my mama, my uncle, my my cousin. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people leaving me at one time. And so I was out here doing all kind of shit. And so eventually that grief was like, it's time. Yeah. I'm finna show out on your motherfucking ass. And it did. And it did. And so like,
I'm gonna stay here forever.
I deal with it. I'm just not a crier. I'm not big on crying about things. That's just me. I will cry. I'm not big on it. I deal with it. I pray on it. I may write in my book about it. I talk to my therapist, and then I move on. For me, grief is different. I've lost a lot of people. I've lost way too many people. I've lost way more people than I can count. So I don't even have enough fingers or toes to say how many people I've lost since I was like 10 years old. So for me, it's always been one of those things where it's like I deal with it, I say my goodbyes, I cry about it, but it doesn't mean that the grief is gone. I still miss, I still think about. There's times when I dream about them. If I think about them,
so that's not grief though. That's not grief. Like missing them is different than grief.
Than grieving.
Well, the reason why I call it grief now is because there's the times where I want to cry and I don't cry it out. I wait it out. I may cry it out later, but I'm not gonna, because it may be an inopportune time where it's happening. Like I'm probably like out at the store and I see something that reminds me, and now I'm feeling emotional. So I finish with what I gotta do, and then I deal with that. I deal with that part of it later. But I recognize that, okay, that's how I know I'm still grieving, because I'm recognizing that this is something that is still making me sad. It still hurts, but I'm still going. My granny was the same way, and my dad. Ironically enough, they both the same way. It's like I'm in this space. I'm sad, but I still got to keep on. I got to keep on. But I'm not going to.
You know what that's called?
Substitute it with drinking, and I'm not going to substitute, because I've lost family and friends to alcohol abuse, drug abuse, whatever abuse, all that other stuff. I'm like, I'm not about to do any of that, because I've seen it and I've watched it, and I watched it deteriorate and tear everybody down. So I've been doing the complete opposite of all of that, and just surrounding myself with love. I've been surrounding myself with so much love lately. It's been overwhelming.
And so this is what you've been doing. You've been intellectualizing the fuck out of your emotions.
Oh yeah,
like,
definitely.
I'm gonna send you a video, but that's not a good thing though. Like intellectualizing your feelings and trying to be overly positive about those feelings, because what you are telling your body and what you are telling yourself is that you are not allowed to feel these feelings. You are not allowed to feel negative feelings no matter what. Wait a minute. Because what you just said was, when you're in a space and you feel those emotions, you put them on hold until you can get to a space where what's wrong with you crying in public?
I'm not crying in Target. I'm sorry.
I'm just asking a question. What's wrong with that though?
I didn't say it was anything wrong with it, but I don't want to do that.
Right. So the way that it sounds is that you find that it's something wrong with you crying in Target, because I'm not crying in Target.
I'm not crying in Target. I don't cry in front of a lot of people. I have this thing where I don't care for people to. I don't want to be
vulnerable,
coddled, if that makes sense. Like only by the people. I don't want strangers around me. Oh my God, I don't know. Right. But if I'm like around family or friends, I don't have a problem with that. If I'm in Target and I'm with my guy and I'm like, I'm feeling some kind of way, can we leave? That's a totally different thing for me. I can do that. But what I can't do is be by myself in Target and then sit over here and just have a whole moment. And then plus, I don't know how my tears are going to come out. So I don't want to have a whole breakdown in the middle of anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's definitely a lot of people that can relate to that. I might be one of them, actually. I'm not going to if I cry out in public, like if you make me mad and I cry, just go ahead on and run now. You know what I'm saying? Because I may not chase you, but I'm definitely going to do something to you immediately.
If you're crying in public and somebody made you mad.
Yeah.
I think that's for a lot of people though.
Yeah.
I think that's for a lot of people though. If I'm angry and I start crying, you should move.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I'm quiet, you should definitely move.
I'm always quiet, so people can't really judge. People can't judge me that way. I'm quiet, but and even when I'm mad, I'm quiet. I'm not even going to run on you in a loud manner. My tone will probably never change. It won't go up an octave or anything, but I'm going to run it to you in the same tone. But if you continue and get me fired up,
You
and
going
you see
in.
that one little glory tear come out my, just go ahead on and
Walk away.
Yep.
Who
Yep.
you say got Virgo in their chart? You talking about me?
You.
Yeah, it is. It's uncomfortable.
So to kind of veer back to taking up space when we talking about emotions and stuff. When we're talking about emotions and taking up space in relationships, not disregarding what I was talking about, but because that is important. But I want to talk about that a little later because I got a video to kind of go with what y'all talking about, but it's uploading. So I'm gonna come back to it.
Okay.
But I do want to talk about how y'all take up space in relationships and what that looks like. But I got a video that's already uploaded that goes with that. Let me make sure this is the right one. Let's see.
Okay.
People pleasing is a trauma response. It is something.
Nope, that ain't it. This is this one.
You're supposed to take up space in your relationship. There might be aspects of having you around that are inconvenient to the other person, and that's okay. If you need something specific and it's not what they typically do, that's okay too, because they don't typically have you. So why would they typically do it? People are supposed to adjust to your presence. And I know your childhood taught you that the less space you took and the less burden you were, the safer you'd be. But you're grown now. It is correct in relationship to have to move things and make space for the other person. Ain't nothing about this convenient. Being in relationship requires compromise and sacrifice, and you are worth those compromises and sacrifices. And hey, we're not talking about contorting ourselves for something that's just not in alignment. But this idea that people can just relate to you and it be no trouble for them when you are worth all the trouble? Quit pretending you don't have needs so somebody doesn't call you needy. You come with so much to give. You're allowed to come with so much to take, too.
Ooh-wee.
That's
I don't know if
good.
y'all heard that. I don't know if
That's
y'all
very
heard
good.
it.
I heard everything.
But you are allowed to take up space in your relationships. And one of the biggest things that us as women, we try so much to mute ourselves. And I'm gonna say one of the biggest things, me being me and me being who I am, is loud and is boisterous and it's, unapologetic as I am. A lot of times in relationship, I have found myself shrinking because sometimes it's like, I do have a big presence, not just like spiritually, emotionally, and like horizontally and vertically. Like I take up space in a lot of ways. And so even in relationships, like when I've been with a guy and they be like, you got too many fans, and I be like, and what's your point? But that's one of the things that comes with being with people like us. Like people, like it's as much as we might be like, don't nobody know me. People motherfucking know y'all. Yeah. And so like if you get with somebody and they'll be like, how you know this nigga? How you know that nigga? How you know this person? How you like you're going to take up space. And being with somebody, we have to learn to be with somebody who is comfortable with how we are with or without them.
Absolutely.
And I had to learn And I am still in this space of learning to take up space in relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know at what point did I start doing this to me in relationship, but I'd never done it before. I had never done it before. And I don't know at what point I started doing that, but I don't like it. It is fucking uncomfortable to put yourself in a fucking box in order to not make somebody feel a type of way, in order to not make somebody feel like you're being needy. Nigga, I am.
It puts your anxiety on 10 too.
It does.
He was reading my mind just now.
It does.
Reading my
Anxiety
mind.
be on 10. I've been there, so that's how I know. I mean, every day, every moment, like the anxiety be on 10 because the concentration and the thought process becomes, am I doing too much? Am I saying too much?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I remember at one point I had to monitor like the things that I would say on social media because it was like it was triggering because it was triggering them. It wasn't triggering me. I was cool. I was being the me that I
mean, that's what I said. That's what I said.
It was triggering him, and I'm like, okay, now mind you, for whatever reason, you get to the point where you think about it like, well, I don't want to disrespect this person. I don't want to disrespect my relationship or whatever. But you're disrespecting and doing a disservice to yourself. And like you say, you start to shrink yourself, and the love that you have for yourself doesn't start to show up more because you're too busy trying to make this person feel so comfortable. The codependency be real.
Safe.
And safe.
You're trying to make somebody who probably has never felt safe feel safe, and now you don't feel safe.
And now you don't feel safe.
Right.
Now you don't feel safe. Now you don't feel. Now you don't feel what you were in a relationship in order to feel. Like, I didn't want to feel this. You know, I didn't want to feel this. I wanted to feel differently, but I didn't want to feel this. And so that's one of the things that I am learning in therapy now is to talk about how I show up in relationships, how I show up in all aspects of my life. How do I show up? And sometimes it might not be no, you good. It might not always be what someone expects of me, because that's also a thing too. So, like Fujila just said, your perception is not my reality.
Absolutely.
Because I've dated people who thought, based on social media, that was the fullness of me. Yes. Oh no, baby, that's not
it. Right.
What the lady said in that video, you've become my new employee. Like, no, baby, that is not the fullness of me. Like, and then sometimes people understand you from what they desire from you in their life. And so even with trying to show up in those spaces in those ways, that should be a lot. So I am learning to show up fully, no matter what, no matter how somebody may feel about it. If I need this, if I need you to text me 900 times a day, then that's what I'm gonna tell you, baby. I need you to text me 900 times a day. Cause not really. Let me just put that out there. Not really. That's just me that's me exaggerating. But shit, text me when you think about me. Call me when you think about me. Like, I am definitely a person who understands I need reassurance.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. I don't need constant reassurance, but if I am asking you for it, please do not make me feel like I am asking for too much. If I ask for clarity, please do not make me feel like I am asking for too much. Because the moment when you continue to make me feel like I am asking for too much, I am going to go find somebody who will give me exactly that.
Right.
Absolutely.
So wait a minute.
Go ahead.
I don't want to go past what you said though. Did you say that did you say that you did that at the beginning of the relationship? Like, you tell them how you show up in relationships?
Sorry. You said, did I tell them that?
I mean, yeah, is that do you start that in the beginning of the relationship? You tell them how you show up in a relationship?
Am I telling the person?
Yes. Oh, okay.
No, it's just more of a inner thing. Like, oh, okay. Like, and then like now I'm paying attention to, like, hindsight is 2020 when you looking back on some shit and you like, oh, okay, this is how I showed up and this is what I did and this is how I moved and these things I did, even though I was uncomfortable, I still operated in that space because it made them comfortable or it was something they desired. Not to say that you don't have to make compromises, because that's what she just said. You do have to make compromises sometimes, but not compromising yourself. And so at some points or in some things, I felt like I compromised myself a lot. And it wasn't something they did. It was more of something that I did because I was not fully confident in myself in that relationship, or my safety. I didn't feel as safe, and I didn't realize that it was not me not feeling safe. I just didn't know how to, like, I didn't know what to call it. I just knew someone right.
Right.
So it's more of a learning thing, is what I'm saying. What I'm telling y'all is what I learned about myself, or learned from experiences, was that I decided, I don't know, subconsciously, that I didn't want to show up fully, because I didn't want to make nobody else feel small. I didn't want to take away from them. I didn't want to be too needy. I didn't want to do too much. I didn't want to say too much. I didn't want to be too dramatic. But then it was like, when I was even doing all of that, when I was like shrinking all of that shit back, and I was still trying not to, it was still an issue. And so it was like, oh,
you trying to control. Because you know what I realized?
Like that was the light, like, okay.
But you know what I realize in situations like that, that oftentimes it's their insecurity that is the breaking or the bridge that is creating that space that you have with that person. It's their insecurity and their inability to show up. They don't want to show up for you. They don't want to show up for you in the space that you need. And they are takers, and they don't want to give anything, but they want the benefits of you, but they don't want to nurture you. And oftentimes we end up in those spaces. I was just talking to my therapist, and we was talking about the difference between empathy and codependency. And I said, well, wait a minute. And she said, oftentimes the codependency part is because we feel like we're having empathy for this person, what they're dealing with, what they're going through, how this happened, and then it becomes a space where it's super codependent, because now you want to help, you want to fix it, you want to show them that look, life is good over here. Like with me, we got this, and they just eat it up and just take it and take it and eat it up, and you are in a space where you just like, well, wait a minute now you, like you said, you're shrinking, you're lacking, you're not being the person that you normally are, and you don't have the will for yourself anymore, because it's all done pushed to this person. But you know who's gonna show you and who's gonna tell you about yourself? Your family and friends around you. If they start telling you like, hey, who the fuck is you?
Yeah, for sure.
What is happening every time such around? Whatever you get, what is going on? And once they start saying that, that's how you know.
So what advice would you give to someone who has experienced that? Because I think we've all experienced that at some point in time, and because we have shrunk ourselves in that moment, how do you take up space in the next relationship?
First, I feel like that's when you reevaluate yourself. Like that's when you take those moments to look at, okay, well, so I'm pretty sure you're not in a relationship because you're asking that, you know what I'm saying? You're asking that question. So in order to move ahead, you gotta look behind you. You gotta look what happened. You gotta take inventory of that situation. Okay. And then sometimes having conversations with friends who will not let you turn into victim mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, they did these things to me and they did all this to me. Okay, well, what did you do?
Right.
Okay, well, how did you show up? Okay, well, what was the lesson that you learned in that space?
In that space, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it's your responsibility first and foremost to take accountability for how you showed up, take accountability for all of the things that happened, because that they just didn't happen to you. You volunteered in that space. But then
Yeah.
after that, you have to look at, okay, what did I learn? What did I learn from that space? What did I learn from this situation? Take note of all the things you learn, even the smaller things, the good and the bad. And then after you do all of that, then that's when you be like, okay, you move on. Now you know how to show up in the next situation. So it's not where you have to compromise any part of yourself in order to be with somebody.
Yeah.
And then, like we were talking about in the auntie chat, ask them fucking questions.
Because you
Ask
gotta
all the
ask.
questions.
I love those questions. I
Ask.
love those
Ask all the
questions.
fucking questions.
I
My
love
therapist
those
made me
questions.
figure out questions. And
Yeah.
I'm not even done. That was just like the first part of the assignment. Like that was
Right.
part of my homework assignment, was to come up with questions so that now when I am dating or trying to date or engaging in possible relationship conversation with somebody, now I got questions. Now I can see where your mindset is, what your thought process is,
Yeah.
what's your intention here.
Yeah.
Because overall, you don't want to go back to that shit that you dealt with before.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to put yourself in a space where you are now having to heal again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you don't want your ancestors and your angel guides be talking about some. So did you learn your lesson, or do we got to do this again?
Right. And
I thought I
that's the
did.
whole thing. That's
I
just the
thought
whole
I
thing.
did.
Stop
Yeah,
sending
that's the
all
whole
these
thing.
deceivers.
Well, I mean, for me as an older
Nah, they
person,
gonna send it because you didn't learn the lesson. You didn't
learn
learn
the
for
what you
real
lesson.
needed
though,
to learn.
for real
You
though,
did
because
not learn.
I've been repeating some lessons myself. But
That's because
but
they
as an
come in
older
different
person,
packages.
I'm like once bitten, twice shy, right? And then also, if you're comfortable with yourself, some people don't like to be alone. I can be by myself. You know what I'm
Hell
saying? I
yeah.
can definitely be by myself.
Hell
I was
But
yeah.
born alone.
with that being said, if you're once bitten, twice shy, and be like, okay, well, I'm good by myself, right? And ultimately, it's not the goal to like go through the rest of your life all by yourself.
We're not meant
You
to live
would like
alone.
to have a companion. Some people don't. Some people, and for those that don't, I understand that too. But it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like you do have to propel yourself forward to be able to relate to someone again.
That's a
Because who?
defense mechanism, though.
Of
To
course,
say I'm good by
yeah.
myself. I'm good by myself. What Ari say, Fujila? I need people.
I need people. Yes, yes.
Cause
And I
your
mean, yeah,
furniture
you
is not
got
gonna teach
to.
you how to Dougie. Your furniture is not gonna
Yeah.
cuddle with you.
Right.
Your furniture is not going to fucking rub your booty at night.
I
Because I love a
know.
good booty rub.
But let me tell you, the first time they come out with something that can rub my booty for me, I'm on Amazon to buy it. Let me let you know right now.
Listen,
Now she gonna on Amazon to buy
Yes,
a
I
booty
will.
rubber.
Yes, I
listen.
will.
Cause listen, all I'm saying is, like she said, I need people, and I definitely am that person that needs people. One of the things that I
Mhm.
have decided that I've started doing though is like I just like I've allowed for space for people, but we got to be in that space, just not in my home
Mm,
yet.
right.
Because, and I say that one of the reasons I say that is because I'm not fully done curating this energy and this space in the way that I want it to be for when
Mhm.
I want people
Mm-hmm.
to be in here.
Yeah.
So when I want people to be in here, or if you have had the opportunity to be in this space and I ain't done curating it, that means I trust your energy. It means that I feel like as you come in this space, you're not gonna bring no harm up in here.
Right.
And I absolutely do be saging. Here got my little jar right here.
Yeah, I be saging too. I'm not near it, but I got the red sage too. Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, I absolutely feel like we do have to go back into those spaces or look at those things, or even talk through what that whole little situation looked like from beginning to end. What were all the fucking red flags that you ignored? Let's talk about those.
Man.
And I've had to talk about those too, because shit, I was ignoring the fuck out of red flags, thinking it was a carnival because I wanted an elephant ear. And I thought because it was a bunch of red flags over there, I was gonna be able to get an elephant ear and a little lemonade, a little lemonade squeeze.
That's funny.
But I wasn't. And so, we had to navigate through those spaces. I had to navigate through figuring out what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
And then, sometimes you gotta recognize too, like, what your triggers are, because sometimes we don't know until we put into a situation.
Until we in a situation, then we're like, okay, I'm triggered. This triggered me.
Yeah. And then, like I said, them questions been working. Okay, them questions been working, because like I started shooting them motherfuckers out like free throws yesterday.
That's some good questions.
You get a question.
I know.
You get a question. You get a question. I start shooting them motherfuckers out, because what we doing? Where we at? We ain't wasting no time. We ain't wasting no time, baby. Okay? But
but that's because you know what you on there for. Go ahead.
Did you get good responses?
One of the people, I was like, boy, you done grewed up. Okay, you done grewed up. And it was like some real grown man kind of answers, and it was like,
I like.
Okay.
Nice.
And then some of the answers was like, the fuck are you even talking about?
It's kind of like, boy, fuck you. Get off my goddamn.
Right.
No, it wasn't a boy, fuck you. It was just like, are you answering the question that I asked, or are you just trying to talk so that you don't have to answer the question that I asked?
Like he's trying to talk around it.
Yeah, it was like talking around the question. I was like, no, answer the question.
Answer that one, right?
Yeah, that question. Let's see. I got so many videos. Let's see. And they all good things. So many good things. We're gonna have to do a part 2. Let me see what this one is.
As long as I have good intentions, I could say how I can just get it.
Okay. So.
Oh.
That goes right along with what we talking about right now.
Okay. I didn't say it was so fast.
Oh no, I needed to see what it was first, because I can't.
Like,
these thumbnails, this goddamn little on over here on this side, and ain't no titles. It's just a bunch of numbers, and the video clip is this fucking big. So I'm over here like
over there trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So, this video that I'm getting ready to play is talking about learning to say hard things well. We're talking about taking up space and all those other kind of things, but even in being in those spaces, we got to learn how to verbalize or communicate those things that we want somebody to be able to receive. But even if it's hard, we have to say it and say it well. So this is what they're talking about in this video.
As long as I have good intentions, I could say how I can just get it off my chest.
Right. It doesn't work like that.
God says, no, it's not about getting it off your chest. It's about speaking it in a way where it can be received in their chest. And in Ephesians, Paul talks about, if you can't say it in a way that they can receive it, then don't say it.
Yes.
So unless you've harnessed a level of kindness and compassion and empathy to say hard things well, you may need to withhold saying hard things.
I love that. Hard things will.
And I didn't have that philosophy. It's like, I just need to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
If I think it, I can say it, and then you work it. Let the chips fall where they may.
Yes.
And God says that's not how it works.
Yes.
That's not. We don't get to let the chips fall where they may. Because what happens is the tone will do more damage than the truth that you were trying to articulate and communicate.
That's beautiful.
And you end up leaving relational carnage in your life, not because you didn't deal in truth with them, but because you didn't deal with compassion and empathy with them.
How do you show up with compassion and empathy on something that you want to have a conversation with someone about or talk about that is bothering you and they're possibly going through hell? Because that's how I interpret it. Either they're not really good at receiving certain things a certain kind of way, or maybe they're going through all type of shit, and you have something that you need to talk about, but you don't know how to do that.
So really, it's showing up authentically and doing it with love, because like he said, sometimes we just be like, I said what I need to say because I got it off my chest. But who did that serve?
I said what I said.
Yeah, I said what I said. But who did that serve?
I said.
Yeah, but who did that serve? That served nobody in that space. No. Because when you approached in that manner, their wall went up. They didn't hear a fucking thing you said. They don't even care about what the fuck you were saying. They care about how you approached them with what it was that you were trying to say to them. You did not come at me on some, hey, can we have a conversation? You know what I'm saying? And you didn't show up. You didn't show up in a way where you were coming from a space of love. You came from a space of, I just want to say what I want to say and get this shit off my chest. Yeah. And instead of showing up and trying to have healthy communication, but also make sure that the point is clear and understood, you just want to get some shit off your chest. So like he said in the video, your tone will set the precedence for how the conversation is going to go. So even if you want to show up and say something to somebody about something that's bothering you that they did, you can still do that regardless of the hell they're dealing with. It's just a matter of how you approach it. It's a matter of how you approach the conversation or the situation. And then a lot of times the way they respond may let you know about the hell they're dealing with, and that it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with you in the way that they respond. But you're saying what needs to be said in order for you to show up in that space and for you to speak up for yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm learning. Okay. And I'm only saying it because a lot of times I try to show up a lot as far as how I communicate with people. I try to be very careful in how I communicate or how I say things to people. Sometimes I'm too fucking careful. Sometimes I need to just be like, you got me fucked up. That's what I really do be needing to say sometimes. But other times it's always I overthink, or I come to the space and I'm trying to be very careful. I'm trying to be very kind. I'm trying to be all of these things. And sometimes some people can't receive kindness.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of that niceness.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to tell them you got me fucked up.
Sometimes you got to come at them with you got me fucked up. And this is where you had me fucked up at.
I tried.
And I'm going to leave you where you had me fucked up at. Okay? Sometimes you just got to be that. Like,
I tried to approach you with grace.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't take it. Yeah. Now take this verbal ass whooping that I'm about to get.
Not a verbal ass whooping.
Because the fuck is we doing?
Because sometimes people need
relational
it. Sometimes
carnage,
people
as
do
he
need
says.
It. Yeah.
That reminds me of one thing that I posted this about a week ago. And it was like, sometimes you just got to go. Sometimes you do got to go there, because I've already tried to be a respectable person, but you playing with me. So now you got to get the asshole. The asshole trying to be cool. She was trying to just chill because because I already then dealt with my emotions of how I feel about what I feel like you're doing to me. And I'm dealing with that so then I can be able to articulate how I feel. And I'm coming with as much empathy and care that I can. Now I got to show my ass.
And that's what I don't be trying to do. That to
you
people.
Ain't hear me the first few times.
Right.
I don't be trying to do that to people because let me tell y'all something. When I become an asshole,
I'm a nice asshole, though.
I can't even whistle, but when I become an asshole, it is such at a different level,
baby,
that it makes you damn near hate me because I had to become that person with you. Now I'm gonna be petty as fuck. Now I'm gonna do every fucking thing possible, like he said, to leave relational carnage. I don't want to leave relational carnage. I don't want to tear nobody from the rooter to the tutor because we couldn't have a conversation, or because we couldn't be civil, or because we could not come to a space where a conversation and an understanding could be had. But now we got to be petty. Now every fucking thing that I do is going to be done in order to annoy the fuck out of
you. I'm gonna be an asshole, and then I'm gonna disappear. You will have there will be no.
That's too much energy.
There will be no time for you to react to none of this shit. All right, now I'm gone. I'm about to throw all this shit on your ass at one time, and then I'm out the door.
And that's usually how I do. Like, I usually just be like, all right, I'm cool on it. I'm gonna just go ahead and slide. But I don't know. I think I have gotten to the point where I am just tired of people trying to play with me. Yeah. Because I don't know, and y'all can tell me, but I feel like I try in every possible way to give people grace, space, and understanding. I feel like my understanding is taken for weakness sometimes. And so I be like, nah, I understand. And I understand. No, I seriously understand. No, I really do understand. But it's like, my voice can't get no higher, my nigga, because I'm tired of trying to show you that I understand. Now I'm finna show you I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Because the way I say this all the time, and I mean this.
No, I ain't going no higher.
I say this all the time, and I mean this with every fucking bit of me. You could have left me the fuck alone. Like, it's 2 billion other people in this world. You could leave me the fuck alone. If you're not going to show up, if you're not going to accept the empathy and the grace that I'm trying to give you, if you're not going to be reasonable, understandable, we're not going to be met with reciprocity, and I'm trying to give you grace and you not trying to give me none, you could leave me the fuck alone.
Yes, Sheree. Yes. I tried to slide, it didn't go well. So the hell with it. Now it's just blackout for everyone, and Lord bless them.
No, that's real life.
That point.
That's her in real fucking life.
But this is also something else that I thoroughly enjoy, as far as this, not the cussing out people, but this video I thoroughly enjoyed because it's talking about, if you don't open your mouth, if you don't say the things that need to be said, this is what can happen.
Say it with me. If my relationship with you, friendship included, requires me to be dependable for you, but hyper independent for myself, then I don't need you. And we've both shown that. Okay? Be mindful of the people who are constantly boasting and encouraging low maintenance relationships, because sometimes, a lot of times, these are people who lack the emotional maturity, availability, and capacity to sustain relationships outside of their convenience and their needs. Most cases, you're not asking for anything differently than they are. It's just that you are now asking for something from them, and that's different for them. But see a lack of effort as a lack of interest. Nothing more, nothing less. And also understand that sometimes the people who demand that you seek very little from them are also seeking a lot from you. All right? But the lower the maintenance for you, it's the lower the access to you. Don't let your empathy or your loyalty impede on your self-respect.
That wasn't the right one. It was the right person, but not the right video. But anyway,
I love
saw
that
a few
one
of his
so much
videos,
though.
that
and
was
I
still
was
a
like,
gift.
I've been following him and saved damn near every one because I'm like,
oh my God, he got so much good stuff.
I'm like, who
so
is he
much good
talking
stuff. But
I love
like you
that.
said, don't let that shit impede on your self-respect.
On your
Sometimes that's what it gets to.
Yep.
Like you stop respecting yourself. You stop giving a fuck about you, and you shifted the energy to giving so many fucks about them that you realize at some point in time that they really don't give a fuck about you. So now you're trying to figure out what the fuck to do because you just learned somebody don't give a fuck about you the way you give a fuck about them. And oh my God.
And all they're doing is, didn't we just talk
pain.
about this? All they're doing is taking. And when it's time, when you're asking for them to show up for you, they can't show up for you.
Right. It's like going to see the Wizard of Oz and figure out that there's no wizard.
There's no wizard. There's no wizard. There ain't no wizard. We're out to see the wizard.
There is no wizard.
There is no wizard.
I know you did, sis. I already know you felt that.
But yeah, that was the wrong video, but the right video at the same motherfucking time. But there are so many things and so many ways that when we are navigating spaces or relationships, friendships, or whatever kind of shit, that we do have to really take responsibility for how we show up, how we respond when we show up. We got to learn our triggers because our triggers are our responsibility, nobody else's.
Absolutely.
So even if you triggered me, you should not have to apologize for triggering me. I need to figure out why I was triggered in that space.
The first place.
Yeah.
I need to figure out why was I so triggered? Why was I so boiled? Why was I getting ready to boil over because of something that you said that triggered me? But that wasn't your responsibility, and it's not your responsibility to apologize for triggering me.
Yeah.
Most of the time, that's the first thing we do. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. It's a knee-jerk reaction.
It really is.
Yeah, because we never want to intentionally harm. We never want to intentionally harm or do damage to somebody that we give a care about.
That we care about. Yeah. Absolutely.
Our initial response to say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad," or this, that, and the third, or whatever. So, let's do this one. Oh, this one good too.
This may be hard to hear, but I'm going to say it. You will encounter some people in this life who you will never be enough for. No matter how good you are, no matter how loving you are, no matter how intentional you are. You can't keep running yourself ragged in hopes that one day you will be enough. You not being for everybody is the blessing. My hope for you this season is that you remember how worthy you are, even when other people can't see it. I hope that you trust that you are enough. How you give, how you love, how you show up, how intentional you are. That is enough. And if some folks can't see it, won't see it, or don't see it, that's not your baggage to carry. Okay?
Okay, girl. You just said that, Leo, a little while ago.
What I say, girl?
You just said that a little while ago about people. People can either choose to love you and respect and accept who you are in the space that you take up, or they can get the fuck on. There's no point in us doing anything if I can't be my authentic self. There's no point in our friendship. There's no point in our relationship. There's no point in, even if you're a relative, if I can't be my authentic self and you can't accept that, and that's not for you, then what are we doing here? I'm steady trying to condense myself to fit in a bottled water when I'm a motherfucking ocean.
Yeah. And I mean, that's so important what you just said. It might have been overlooked. It's not, like you said, it's not just boyfriend girlfriend relationships, but it's in your family too. Like, you get to family functions and you be like, oh, don't do this, don't say that, because you know how such and such act. So now you gotta not be yourself at this family function. You trying not to. You trying not to step on people's toes.
Cassie?
I know you heard that. I know y'all
Girl.
heard that. I know y'all heard that. I was so trying to talk over her just.
That shit was loud. That was loud.
I know y'all heard it. I know
She
y'all
meant that
did.
with every ounce of
With
her being,
every
okay?
She get on my
inch of
nerves.
her.
She get on my nerves, and she is a true representation of someone who does not shrink herself in any room. But
I
Listen,
love
I
that.
love that for my
hey,
baby, okay?
yes,
I
honey,
love that.
yes.
Because she
But
be
I mean,
reminding me.
look, because it's a real thing, right? It's a thing
Yeah.
that you have to really stay true to yourself to be sure that you aren't shrinking yourself in every situation, even when it comes to family,
Yeah.
comes to close friends or whatever. Um, this is a real important topic because we all forget sometimes not to shrink ourselves,
Yeah.
or we compromise in those moments and be like, well, I'm not going to do this over here because this person's going to act such and such kind of way, or
Mm-hmm.
they can't take the full strength of me in this moment,
Cause
so
don't come the fuck around me. Like,
hey, and that's what I said on the outset. You really have to be careful in which areas you put yourself in, right? Like,
yeah.
have the four
The fortitude.
that's good.
Forethought.
Yep, that
Forethought.
was the word. My tongue won't get it, but
Yeah,
have
that's what
that.
he said. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
No, you
sorry.
good. Have that advanced thought, you know what I'm saying? To say, is this where I want to be? Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I got a quote. Let me make sure. Yeah, I told y'all.
Okay, just she got to make sure that's the right.
The ocean does not apologize for its depth, and the mountains do not seek forgiveness for the space they take, and so neither shall I.
Amen.
All right now.
Cause
I
you ain't
like.
never seen Mount Everest apologize for being Mount Everest. Okay?
See, and if I was in Cubicle Nation, I would put that up in my little cubicle. Put that in my workspace.
Not Cubicle Nation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's another one. Nope. Oh, yes, it is. You don't have to solve your whole life overnight, and you don't have to feel ashamed for being where you are. All you have to do is focus on one small thing you can do today to get closer to where you want to be. Slowly and lightly, one step at a time, you can get there. Dare to
Good stuff.
space. Dare to
Good
take
stuff.
up space.
Yeah.
Take
Good
it
stuff.
up.
Oh, this was another thing I wanted to tap into too, because we're talking about taking up space, and so this is it's kind of not talking about taking up space, but it is talking about taking up space. This says, growing up, I never knew a relaxed woman.
Jesus.
That's for women, yes. Productive women, plenty. Anxious and afraid and unapologetic, heaps of them. But relaxed women, at ease women, women who aren't afraid to take up space in the world, women who prioritize rest and pleasure and play, women who give themselves unconditional permission to relax without guilt, without apology, without feeling like they need to earn it.
Chill.
Not sure I've ever met a woman like that, but I would like to become one. I would like
Ooh,
to become one. When I
Man.
I
my God, today.
relaxed woman, I want
Are you in your word
a
today?
woman. I want to become a woman who takes up space unapologetically. I want to be that relaxed woman. I want to be the woman who prioritizes play. Oh my God.
That was wild.
Play and pleasure. Oh my goodness. That is what I desire to do and live for and strive for, because that's what I want for my life. But I want to be a relaxed woman. And like she said in this thing, women who aren't afraid to take up space. Woo! Give women who give themselves unconditional permission to relax without guilt, without apology, without feeling like they need to earn it. Because why the fuck do I need to earn the permit, or do I need permission to be relaxed?
You know,
Why
I
y'all always
definitely have to work on that.
Y'all always want black women to be the angry black woman and be pressed, but then why I can't be relaxed?
I have to work on that though. I do. I feel bad when I take a rest. I feel bad when I don't show up in the space that I need to show up in because I'm tired, or something beat me down or stuff like I feel guilty. I feel horrible.
It's because
it's a learned behavior.
Mm-hmm.
When you read that is a generational thing. That is not something that is learned, to always have something to do, to always be busy, to always be there for the kids, to always go to work, to always pay the bills, to always cook, to always clean. It's like there's never a space, there's never a moment, there's never a time. And it's wild.
It really is. It really is. Mostly all of what you read kind of describes me. I am not a relaxed woman. I am anxious. I do feel guilty for not doing or being somewhere. Even if I decide to, Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to lay in my bed and don't do anything at all. I feel bad about that too. So yeah, that's
because it's also the world that we live in too. They always feel like you gotta always be doing some team no sleep, hustle. I sleep when I die, like all of that kind of shit. No, I'm asleep today, right the fuck now.
Right, exactly. Today
I was given rest.
I'll make it up later.
It's in the Bible.
because they literally, like, the culture of the world we live in now, they want us to run ourselves into the motherfucking ground and not have nothing left. No, baby, I want to have all the things left. Like, yes, I'm going to do all the things, but I'm also going to do all the none things, like non-things. I am going to rest. I am going to sleep. I am going to paint. I am going to garden. I am going to do all the other things that bring my life happiness and joy and all of the good shit, because I have spent so much of my life not being a relaxed woman. What the fuck? Nope, not no more. I bought some motherfucking seeds yesterday so I could start my indoor garden. Because what? Because I'm not about to be.
Was that you that sent that to me, or did I find it?
What?
The indoor garden stuff. It was like a DIY of how to do an indoor garden. I sent it to somebody. Text her to her the rest. I'm gonna send you what I got. But I agree. Like me and you talk a lot about taking, like Fuji La said, taking a mental health day. And then also about coloring. Just taking the time to kind of like color and
I haven't colored in years.
Man, like when I say it's the most,
let's go get you a coloring book.
Get you a coloring book. It's the most relaxing. Like you don't even and time goes past. Like I'm gonna take a little hiatus from social media eventually. I think I'm gonna start tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm gonna take a small hiatus. It ain't gonna be long. But during that time, I'm gonna find other ways to unwind and to relax. And my goal is to try to start writing out things that I want to do, things just kind of like spending more time with creating a better space for me where I'm not on social media getting caught up scrolling for 2 hours. And then I look up, I started scrolling at 7. It's 10:30. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Like that's
cool. I don't even have that luxury. I don't even have that luxury of scrolling for that amount of time. First of all, my brain will be like, too much. It's too much. Back up. Get away from it. It's too much. But that's why I got like 900 TikTok inboxes. Cause I cannot. My brain is like, that's too much. But I want to see it, but
I haven't looked at none of my messages on TikTok.
Right. And then when I do get to scrolling, I promise to goodness, when I do get to scrolling, y'all be the recipients of the scrolls. It's usually like motherfucking reels.
Oh hell yeah, we get flooded.
And that's usually That's usually when I be on social media. It's either when I'm laying there, like first thing in the morning, when I'm taking a break so I can literally escape, or right before I go to bed.
Yep. Don't do that part.
Sorry. Listen. It's been a long day, and I am fighting for my life. Plus, it's a little chilly in here, so I'm like, "Ooh, you really trying to go ahead and make me lay it down?"
Yeah.
So
that's cool. That make your body feel real good and tingling.
When it's cold up in here, I'll be like, "Oh Lord."
There was a question up here about co-parenting. Oh, co-friending.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, there it is.
Can you be co-friends like you co-parent? Like when kids are involved? Probably not. Cause them people ain't gonna want you to see their kids or have nothing to do with their kids because you ain't fucking with them. I mean, that would be great and beautiful and all of that. But if somebody petty, they absolutely not gonna give a fuck about none of that. Because they're gonna be too self-centered and too focused on
and trying to control
themselves. Yep. That they not gonna focus on nothing about the kids, or they really don't give a fuck about your feelings. So
yeah. And then you also got to look at if they have situations with if they co-parent now. do they co-parent at this moment? And if the answer is no.
Let's see what this one is.
Why
this thing changed my life about anxiety. Did you know one of the first common signs that someone is...
No, that wasn't one.
Who going to Barnes and Nobles and Michaels? And why are we doing that?
Mama gonna do.
That's what you need to do.
That's what because she brought up coloring. That's what Fuji Boss said she wanted me to do. I have to work tomorrow. I'm not going nowhere near no Barnes and Nobles.
That's okay. You get off at a reasonable time.
I'm about to get off at Barnes and Noble,
get you a color.
At 5:30. Y'all see this?
You can still go get you a coloring book.
Go to Barnes and Noble.
Get you some crayons.
Yeah.
And when you get back home, you take you a nice bath. When you get back home, you take you a bath. Get you some food. Lay in the floor. Put your little PJs on. Go to Walmart. Even if you
make a palette.
Go on and get it together. Go on and get your life right. Because a lot of times we be so focused on the other shit that we don't be focused on ourselves. We don't focus on our rest, our peace, our joy, or we don't have the opportunities to escape our reality like we need to, even though we shouldn't even have to be fucking escaping our reality, but we do need it sometimes. But yeah, get you a color book, lay in the floor, or go to Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree got all the good ass colors.
Dollar Tree do got a lot. Now you're not gonna do good with the markers and shit. You got to go somewhere else.
Go to Walmart and get you some crayons and stuff. But go to Dollar Tree and get you like a bunch of different coloring books.
I love y'all because y'all know I ain't gonna do none of that.
But you is.
But you got to.
But you're gonna try to find a way, find the time.
Because the one thing that always resonated with me, I think my dad said this when I was younger, and it was, you can work as much as you want to, right? But the moment that you can't work no more, they don't need you. They're gonna get somebody else to replace you.
That's absolutely.
And so you got to find the moment and the time to make sure that you are, and that's a part of taking up space because you're taking care of yourself.
It's a good point.
We prioritize work because it's important. But shit, if you can't show up, then what?
mean, you're more important.
Right.
Yeah. So do the things. Do the things. Even though you might be tired, do the things. At least go get the stuff. So when you do have the space or time or energy or the want to, that it's there for you to be able to walk into that space that you've already prepared for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like tonight, I don't want to cook, but I'm still going to because I'm a nigga hungry and I want to go to bed and I wake up in the morning ravenous. Cause that's how I wake up. If I don't eat for a while the night before, and I go to bed and I wake up the next morning, I'll be ready to eat everything.
Girl, I'm like, you wake up and your stomach be growling. You hear me?
It be 3:00 in the morning, and I be ravenous, and I'll be like, I can't eat right now. It's 3:00 in the morning.
We need to go to Michael's to find this body open. Absolutely. I'm gonna find it.
What's this one?
Because baby, I want that on my body.
What's this one? Hold on. Let's see what this one is.
Don't walk through the world looking for evidence that you don't belong, because you will always find it.
Yes.
Don't walk through the world looking for evidence that you're not enough, because you'll always find it. Our worth and our belonging are not negotiated with other people. We carry those inside of our hearts. And so for me, I know who I am. I'm clear about that. And I'm not going to negotiate that with you. I will negotiate a contract with you. I will negotiate maybe even a topic with you, but I'm not going to negotiate who I am with you. Because then, and this is, I think, the heart of the book, then I may fit in for you, but I no longer belong to myself. And that is a betrayal I am not willing to do anymore.
You better say that, white lady.
I love that.
I love that.
Period. And that is a betrayal.
I'm showing up for you. I'm not showing up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Baby.
I wonder at what space, because I feel like this is something that happens. I feel like it happens to both men and women. So you find women who, and I'm using this in a relationship form, you find women who tend to show up in certain spaces for men where they like are the nurturers. And then you have the men that show up in certain spaces where they are the providers. And they're showing up so much in this. And like you say, in this space, you're not allowed to be yourself. When we've been talking about this all night, you being your most authentic self and somebody else being their most authentic self allows you to show up more, I would think, for each other and for yourself, because you're being yourself, you're being accepted being that person, you're being nourished in that space, you're being cared for in that space, and nobody is losing. Both of y'all winning.
Yeah, I agree.
All I know is,
what you know, girl?
You better love me right.
Right, that part.
I'm sick of the other shit.
Did y'all like that movie Mea Culpa? Did you watch it?
I definitely watched it.
I definitely have not watched it because people will ruin stuff or they do too much about it and it'd be like, y'all be hyping shit up and it'd be trash. So I don't know. I'll watch it one day.
I'm going to say this. I don't like anything outside of the Madea plays that Tyler Perry does, right? The Madea stuff I like. I grew up on it. It's funny to me. Sometimes, especially lately, it's too much. Yeah. I will say this, though. As far as the, because what I want to say, typically the people that he cast, it'd be like, what the fuck was, but the casting was cool this time. The acting was cool this time. Kelly Rowland, stunning per usual. I know she brought her own wigs and her own wardrobe to that because the Tyler Perry wigs do be ass every time. And dude, I don't even want to say, but what I would say is per Tyler Perry fashion, it made sense and didn't make sense at the same goddamn time.
Yes.
See, that's why I can't do it.
Yes. I was rocking with it until close to the end.
Until close to the end. Everything else,
I'm not going to give it away for people who didn't watch, but closer to the end.
Closer to the end, yeah.
Well, why did that happen? Like, how? Why?
Trash.
So,
Tyler Perry makes a lot of fucking money off mediocre ass fucking movie.
Yes.
Like a lot of his shit is like, this isn't a good representation of black people.
He doesn't overly think about it at all. It's very
and that's the thing. Let me tell y'all something. The people who have all the talent and all the fucking that should have all the fucking push are the ones who are out here scared to do their shit. And then there's people out here who create trash, and they out here the most confident motherfuckers that you will ever find.
Yeah.
One thing I heard, an imposter will never feel like they're out of place when they are somewhere that they do not belong.
Ain't that something?
Okay?
And you a whole imposter.
Will never feel out of place. They will never feel out of place when they know they're somewhere they don't belong, because it's people that do belong there that feel like they're the imposters.
So, the impossible Mr. Ripley. That's what it reminds me of.
Put that in your blunt and smoke it.
I used to love that movie. Now that you said that out loud, I might want to watch it again.
What was it?
The Impossible Mr. Ripley.
Yeah, that's a real good movie.
He was an imposter, but he acted like he belonged everywhere he was at.
Yes.
Every space he was in, and he got in it. No hesitation.
That's interesting.
So when you said that, that's the first thing that popped in my head.
She says giving Timu.
It was giving Timu. Man, it do all the time.
Timu and Wish.
Yes.
Like he don't even be like he take them out the bag and don't comb them or nothing.
Right.
I mean, even the wigs on what's that thing that everybody that app everybody be watching now?
Tubi.
Even the wigs on Tubi be looking better than Tyler. Shit, even the plots be better. Some of the
plots be better at everything. Good ass movies on Tubi. People be trying to play in Tubi face, and I be like, don't do that.
No,
don't play up in Tubi face.
I like that app a lot, actually.
I'm like, shit, I might could minimize some of these other apps. Fucking around with Tubi, and it's free.
But yeah.
But I got one more, I think, before we go. One more. If my thing X-ray. Actually, I got two more, but here is one.
The invisible girl who doesn't get to feel comfort because she's too busy being sister, too busy being friend, too busy being mother. He got her going half, so she never feels whole. She just always feels other. But she's been craving to feel alive. It's been raining for way too long. She can't get this out no weekend. She need her a whole summer. She need her a break. Something a little bit more intentional than how was your day, because she never says how she really feels. You know, complaining don't pay bills. And who really listening besides God? She don't even listen to her intuition. It don't be no time to break down. She got so much shit to do. Maybe if she lucky, she'll squeeze in some time in the shower to shed a tear too. And she ain't angry. She just tired, undervalued, craving the courage to be selfish without guilt. Everybody else does it. With no consideration to her, to how she feels. So to the invisible girl who doesn't get to feel no comfort, because she's too busy being sister, too busy being friend, too busy being your mother, looking for passion outside of herself. She's too busy being lover, so disconnected from this world that sometimes she just lays there and she don't feel nothing. But that don't stop her from daydreaming or hopefulness or one day getting the courage to just say, fuck all this shit. I'm clocking out. So to the invisible girl who has not found her voice, I hope that you find the courage to finally find yours. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Yes.
And yeah, one more.
Your voice holds a power that no one can deny. So use it loudly, boldly, wisely. Never, ever forget the power it holds. Continue chasing your dreams, because it is never too late to see it come to fruition. Just keep doing you, sis. And these haters, and their hater hate, won't know how to act. Trust me. So get on up. Get up. Hold your head high and push forward, because your breakthrough, is right around the corner. And remember, you are definitely 100% that queen.
Cause you that what?
That queen.
That queen.
That auntie, that queen, Debbie.
Debbie.
Yeah, man.
What she said, okay? Y'all remember who the fuck you are, okay? And if anything ain't serving you, ain't making you feel good, feel loved, feel wonderful, feel amazing, or you feel like you are shrinking, denying, or not fully shining in all that you are and all that you will become, I need y'all to do one of these.
Fast where it's all about that money back. Never front, you take it there, it ain't no coming back.
Back away from that shit, okay?
Yep.
Move up out of
back
that.
all the way the fuck up out of that shit. If it ain't serving you, back up out of it. If it ain't serving you, leave it alone. Literally, do not do anything in the rest of 2024 or the rest of your fucking life that does not make you feel loved, beautiful, whole. If you do not feel like you are radiating joy from the pits of your motherfucking stomach all the way to the outside of who you are and who your being is, do absolutely not entertain it, indulge in it, or give it any energy or space. You deserve all the love, joy, and beauty that this world has to offer you, and anything less than is less than you. All right?
Control, Alt, Delete, Backspace out that shit.
So do all the things that make you feel absolutely beautiful. Do all the things that make you feel amazing. And remember, you are art, baby. You are art. Okay? You are art. And all that you are is beautiful. Okay?
What Jasmine Sullivan say? I'm a work of art. I'm a Mona Lisa.
I mean, because even some of that shit, you know, is up for interpretation. Okay? All right. I love y'all. Thank you, Aunties, for the conversation. We might have to pull the part 2 in here so we can talk to the fellas a little bit more. But y'all definitely know we love y'all. And this is a space for all of us, men, women, for us to tap into those things that we might not get to talk about on a regular basis, whether it's sensuality, sexuality, or we talking about the mental and physical or other parts of being and becoming whole. Like, it's after dark, so we're gonna talk some shit about sex, and we're gonna talk some shit about, the little nasty stuff, but we also gonna tap into the other parts of the little nasty stuff too, because you can't be nasty if your mental is fucked up. I mean, you can,
but it ain't gonna be.
It's gonna be trash.
It ain't gonna be that
trash.
Trying to tell you.
So we gonna help y'all be whole before
you
can
be a good
be a hoe.
Why would we both want to say?
We're gonna help you be whole before you be a hoe.
That's right.
So you can be a whole hoe.
So you can be a whole hoe. Okay, not a half hoe.
Not a half hoe.
Because y'all know what I say.
What do you say?
Whatever you do for the rest of the evening and the rest of the week, don't do it with your half ass. Do it with your whole ass, y'all. We about this thing. We thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all. And if there is anything that you would love to see the Aunties or us talk about on PGC, then shoot us a DM, the inbox, an email, the Fat Girl Chronicles podcast, PGC After Dark, fatgirlchroniclespodcast@gmail.com, fatgirlchronicles@gmail.com, or the fatgirlchroniclespodcast@gmail.com. Or y'all could holler at one of the aunties if you know us directly. Okay? And if you want to be a guest, you can reach us the same way. All right? We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us and sticking around and joining in on the conversation. All right? We love y'all. And we about to sing. Good night.
Bye.
Trust. Dependency. Love. Respect. Passion. Pain. Intimacy. Pleasure. I sit here stuck inside my head, remembering you and I analyze all those things you said.